speak, just feel the tone. Your heartbeat's calling, we're all alone. Every breath you take, I taste it slow. In the silence, let it flow. Your touch draws fire down my spine. In your rhythm, I lose the line. Eyes like midnight, voice like wine. You pull me deep across the sun. The room is moving, bodies close. The bass beneath us softly glows. No sound but whispers, low and pure. Your energy, I'm so unsure. Gravity between our skin. The night begins and I give in. No need for words, no need to speak. The pleasure slow, the tension sweet. Whisper me closer, don't let go. Moving the rhythm soft and low. Every beat electric fire, clean desire, taking me higher.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. We got that big weekly close that everyone was dreading. I had no idea about this particular indicator that everyone was looking at, but seems like it's an important one. So let's talk about that today. Is the bear market over? Wait, did I say that right? Is the bear market over? Alright, I'm just setting up a couple of charts here for you guys so we could be a tad bit organized. Could we do a quick mic check in the meantime? Alrighty, are we ready to begin? Krusha's always glowing. Okay, I got that ready too. And with that, I think I should be. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter, and I welcome you back to your Monday weekly market health check with Mango. Everyone is panicking over this green line. And the big question is it worth it? Is it relevant? My answer is I don't know. I don't care. We haven't been watching this all cycle. Why would we suddenly start looking at this, right? Now, we're going to come back to this. Okay, we're going to come back to this later in the stream, and we're going to address questions that people have regarding this, but I'm going to give you guys my stance on this right now. To me, this doesn't matter, and to you guys at Mango who've been following us all the way down since around here, right? We started building a position around actually 16k to 19k. We've not looked at this a single time. Not a single goddamn time. So we're not going to look at it right now. And the exact opposite should be done for those of you who are new here and have been looking at this the entire cycle and have not looked at what I'm about to show you. You guys should not be using what I'm about to show you guys as your thesis and your validation if you guys have been looking at this all cycle, okay? It's not about being right. It's about following your rules. And if you've been following this all cycle, you should continue to follow it, right? And based on this, it's not looking good, right? Your trade isn't looking good. That doesn't mean our trade isn't looking good. And that's what people get wrong. It isn't about winning every single trade. It's about your strategy over long term, okay? I'll give you guys a quick example of how this could play out. Let's say there are two traders, trader A and trader B, that go and put on 10 trades each. Okay, let's say this counts to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, 11 trades. Now, these are 11 trades over a period of time. Let's say they both come out with the same amount of, to keep this simple, we're going to use nominal numbers. Okay, let's say they both come out with $1 million at the end of their 11 trades. There's nowhere in the rule book that says, let's hide the price action for now. That says that they both needed to win every single trade simultaneously at the same time and lose every single trade simultaneously at the same time, right? This guy, for example, the first guy could have won his first 5 to 6 trades and then lost the next, and the other guy could have won only the last few trades and lost the first few, right? And there could have been unlimited amount of combinations of how this could have played out. So what I'm trying to say over here is what you need to focus on, guys, is just following your strategy, which includes losses from start to end over and over and over and over and over again. If you try to be right on every single trade, right, you're going to find X trader that was right on this trade and Y trader that was wrong on this trade. That doesn't make them smarter than each other or dumber than each other. All it means is that for that particular trade, within his strategy, provided he's following a strategy, he was right. And that guy was wrong, right? Or his trade worked out. His trade did not work out. As soon as you find traders who are trying to show off that they were right on every single call, or they know exactly what's going to happen, that's a big red flag. You guys should really hit the unfollow button, unsubscribe button, because that's not how investing works. That's not how trading works. Okay. The whole point of having a actionable long-term strategy involves and includes losses within it. If there are no losses, it's a big red flag. It's a big red flag. Now, people who are following the green 50 weekly moving average, they will have to exit over here, right? Now, that doesn't make them dumb or smart for asking you guys to, because I'm getting a lot of like people making fun of folk who were going long here. No, they should have been going long if they were looking at this. If, however, they randomly found this indicator and started looking at it and said, hey, I'm going to take this trade without it being planned, that is questionable. With that out of the way, we'll come back to this. Let's go ahead and talk about what Mango has been looking at for this entire cycle. We're going to start with the Mango dashboard. There's a lot to talk about over here. And I'd like to say, we'll come back to this, but I know me, I'm not going to come back to this. I'm going to forget about something important that we should be talking about. I want you guys to do a quick color analysis of what's going on over here. You're seeing a lot of red. The daily is what we're looking at the moment, is short across the market. The market-wide volatility is red while the trend is short. Not a good look. 2-day short, 4-day short. Weekly is short as well, right? So the market-wide trend at the moment is short. Now, I want you guys to check this out, okay? You can see all the reds here, right? Lots of reds. However, if you switch on over to the Bitcoin pairing, far more greens pop up suddenly and fewer reds. That is really, really interesting to me, okay? It tells you that just through a quick glance of the market, your color analysis is telling you that altcoins have been outperforming Bitcoin over the past few days, right? Because this is the daily time frame that we're looking at. And that lines up personally, anecdotally, with what I have been seeing on particular charts that I have been watching, okay? Now, there are a few altcoins that I'm actually long, spot long, leverage long, combination of the two. And they've been surprising me. We're going to be talking about that. In fact, let's go ahead and start with that. The first one is XRP. I should say though, remember last week I took two longs, one on Bitcoin and one on XRP. The Bitcoin long, I had to take my loss on, right? I got invalidated on that trade. But usually when you get it wrong on your Bitcoin trade, you're likely going to be invalidated on your altcoin trades as well, right? That's not what happened this time, right? I had to take my loss on my Bitcoin trade. But this is the wrong chart, by the way. I should have been showing you. I'll come back to the Bitcoin trade in a bit. But my XRP trade is still intact, right? Now, yes, there's pressure coming in from Bitcoin, applying downward pressure on the altcoins regardless, because there are folk who are going to panic on their alts when they see Bitcoin dump, right? And I think this is something I should be talking about as well, because it's I don't say an amateur mistake. It's a very reasonable thing to do because the market kind of coaches you. It kind of brainwashes you into expecting. I'm just gonna turn off the music, guys, because we're talking about important shit right now. Shit that you're never gonna hear in any other channel, because I doubt most other channels are actual real traders. They're more concerned about being fucking right all the time as opposed to actually putting on positions, knowing very well that you could lose, because that's what trading is really about. That's what investing is really about too. That's why most of you guys are likely losing while following those channels, while the Mango community is fucking thriving as long as you follow the Mango way. It's not easy to follow the Mango way, but hey, who said becoming filthy rich is easy? Who said it was going to be easy? Okay, don't listen to those idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. They're selling you a dream that does not exist. Let's get back to what we're talking about right over here. A lot of people get coached throughout the cycle reasonably so, understandably so, thinking Bitcoin's jumping, I better sell my altcoins. But I want you guys to think about this. Okay, I want you to think about this. How often have you guys been faster than the market? Because as soon as Bitcoin dumps, the altcoins dump right away, right? Not giving you a chance to do so. But then, in a situation like this, you're suddenly thinking, whoa. Bitcoin has dumped, but the market's being dumb. I'm getting a chance to get out of my altcoins in profits. Now, I'm not saying that these situations don't happen. I'm not saying these inefficiencies don't happen. They definitely do. But just pause for a sec and be like, wait a minute. Is this something I should look into a tad bit more? Because this is a change of behavior. Is my particular coin giving me an opportunity because the market's being inefficient on my coin? Or is this a market-wide phenomenon and a change of behavior of the cycle, right? So just like I've told you guys all cycle, do not sell your Bitcoin if your trade is not invalidated just because your altcoins are dumping, right? Because that's what used to happen all cycle. Altcoins dump and people are like, man, I'm going to get out of my Bitcoin trade as well. Similarly, at this juncture, in fact, all junctures, you should never make a decision on one asset based on what another asset is doing, right? If you're doing that, do it partially because you're trying to be smarter than what the market is telling you. And more often than not, that ends up wrong. XRP would have been a really, really good example of that. Dumping XRP because Bitcoin was dumping would have not been a good idea. Now, if XRP does lose this bi-weekly mango dynamic over here that we've been talking about for like months and months and months, by all means, we'll exit, we'll take the loss because, hey, eventually if you are a trend trader, guys, eventually you're going to be wrong. Okay, listen, guys. Okay, a trend moves like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, and also like this on its way down before it reverses. Okay, so there are so many times that you're gonna have to try to be a fucking smartass by saying this is the top, 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 right? And across Twitter, across YouTube, you're gonna get one asshole who gets it right over here, right? Even though he got it wrong here. And okay, like, you know, in a distribution of like, let's say 10 people, right? You'll have 10, the first guy calling the top here, getting it wrong. Second guy calling the top here and then getting it right. Third guy calling the top here, getting it wrong. Fourth guy calling the top here, getting it wrong, right? You don't know which one of the 10 is going to get right at which juncture. But because you're watching so many different people, this guy's right at one point, that guy's right at one point, that guy's right at another point. And then you're just constantly switching between one strategy to another strategy because that guy got it right for that particular juncture. No, it's just random because they're not actually following a strategy, trying to be smart, right? That being said, if you're a trend trader, all you care about is following the trend until the trend ends, right? You're like, market's going up, so I'm going to go up with it. But a trend trader knows he's going to be wrong twice. While he's following the trend down and the market switches on him, and he has to be wrong eventually, because I wouldn't say wrong, but he has to exit, right, and give back profits, and then switch again, right? And then again, eventually, this ends. And again, over here, he's given up some profits, right? So unless you use a combination of trend trading, volatility analysis, and time-based analysis, it's really, really, really hard, I would say impossible, even then, to get the top really, really well, right? You're going to maybe take some partial profits while building a good strategy to time the top well, but even there, as a trend trader, you don't want to get ahead of that, or, you know, you don't want to get ahead of yourself too much. So again, with that deviation out of the way, to understand that even with XRP, if we lose this dynamic over here, don't get stubborn, don't make it personal about yourself. Take the loss, move on, look to reposition down here, right? We'll talk about that. But hey, if this works out, I'm going to be excited. We'll talk about how we look to manage this upside move. Any questions on how you should be actually dealing with the markets as opposed to playing it like a dumbass like you guys have been likely doing for the entire cycle? But hey, guess what? The market is finally showing it to you guys on a platter that you guys need to take this seriously, not follow random. You know, I try to watch some of these. So someone sent me a YouTube video of this popular YouTuber who has been talking about this 50 moving average. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, right? But you can tell when they say shit like, you can tell that they're not trading really. Okay, when they say shit like, I think we're gonna have a 2019 like cycle, which is a very mundane which was a very mundane cycle with no euphoria. I'm like, what the f were you do? I traded 2019. This was as euphoric as it gets. I got euphoric over here, right? The emotions got to me, and I had to like calm down, because dude, we made a lot of money really fast. To say that this was not euphoric, okay, yeah, it wasn't. The move did not go to 2027 levels, but this was not mundane, or whatever word was used. Like, it just, there's a big difference between being a forecaster and a trader. You guys need to understand that. A trader makes money. A forecaster wants to be right. Big difference. Okay, big difference. I think all of you guys want to make money more than being right. Let me know. Let's just let me know in the chat, and accordingly, I'll today's stream we'll discuss things based on that. If you guys want to be right, we can go and talk about high level shit that is not actionable at all. Or do you guys want to make money? Right? Making money involves some pain, guys. Like, because if it was that easy, like, that's why people rather be forecasters, because it's an ego trip more than anything else. Right. So yeah, crypto fear and greed. This is finally effing red. Holy shit, man. Like, on our Discord, by the way, follow us on our Discord. We have a great family there, keeping everyone's moods up, making sure that nobody does anything stupid. themangoway.com/Discord. If Krisha or Avi are either in the chat, anyone in here, please link the Discord channel. I think now more than ever, people need the encouragement to not do stupid shit. But yeah, I posted a screenshot of the other fear and greed index that was red. It was crushed down to 10. But when I came on over to CMC's crypto fear and greed, we're still sitting in the orange, which was surprising, right? We just finally cracked deep into the red area. Like, the last time we did this was the Trump tariff drama. Now, I don't want to say that we should be counter trading this. You should never, ever just flat out look at this and be like, I'm long, I'm just going to go buy, right? It has worked out for the most part. If you did spot buying around every time it got orange to red, that way you won't putting yourself at risk for liquidation. You should not do it though, because you need to take into consideration everything else that the market is doing. And at the moment though, if there were ever a time to have the confluencing factors play in favor for a bounce, I think this would be it. You have this red sentiment over here, along with the fact that we are sitting on the bi-weekly dynamic. Yes, we are sitting underneath it, but we have 6 days and 12 hours to close above it, along with the fact that you are getting I would say, value buy underneath the monthly 10 SMA. Yes, we are sitting underneath it, but we have 13 days and 12 hours to close above it. So we can frame that picture in our head right now, right? Be like, okay, cool. We have sentiment at extreme levels where it doesn't sit here for all that long. So we'll get some bounce, okay? How much of a percent bounce? I don't know. So I can look to see if there's a trade opportunity over here. Oh, we're sitting underneath the bi-weekly dynamic. Sentiment's telling me that I could get a bounce. I have 6 days for the bi-weekly dynamic to close. Do I get a bounce that closes above the bi-weekly dynamic and keeps this trade intact? Yeah, that's definitely possible. Just need a few percent, right, for that? Okay, cool. So this could get defended with the sentiment, and we have 6 days to defend this. I'm going to buy underneath my invalidation level. That's an interesting proposition for me. What about the monthly 10 SMA? These are both cyclical indicators, by the way, guys. The monthly 10 SMA is sitting all the way at around 101,000, let's say 101.5K. I need this to bounce quite a bit. Okay, let's go measure that. I need this to bounce around 7%. My oh my. What asset are we dealing with over here? The big daddy himself, Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin bounce 7% given that I have 13 days and 12 hours left for this monthly close? Well, Let's go look at it step by step. Sentiment at 17. We're also sitting at bi-weekly dynamic support. Yes, slightly underneath it, but support nonetheless. We have sat underneath it over here, over here, over here, over here, over here as well, right? So multiple times we've sat underneath it, closed above every single other time, over here as well. Okay, so there's reason to believe that this can close above, even though it's living underneath it. On top of that, sentiment is indicating a potential bounce, right? Probability leans there. That nothing's for certain, but probability leans there. Then I have my monthly tendency saying, hey, you need a 7% bounce. Can I get a 7% bounce? Is it reasonable to expect a 7% bounce on Bitcoin? I don't know, guys. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Is 13 days and 12 hours enough? We are looking for an average of around 0.5% per day for Bitcoin to bounce on average, from today till the end of the month. I say that is possible. Maybe I'm crazy. But I personally think it's possible. Oh, wait a minute. Am I having a deja vu? Because I feel like I've been in this situation before. Right over here. In fact, I'll draw it out with a nice big circle. Monthly wicked all the way down to like 48,000, 45,000. What was that? 49,000. We had to bounce a good 17%. Holy shit, was that impossible? But it happened. Moreover, let's go measure that month, or I'll get the month. It was August 2024. We were also sitting on the bi-weekly dynamic back then, right? Right over here, these months. So we've seen this happen before already. Am I saying it's going to happen again for sure? No, of course not. I'm not an oracle, but some people say I am. No, I've just been following them. Honestly, guys, I've just hacked this cycle by just doing the stupidest, most simple thing ever, following this freaking green thick line, right? You guys are following, the rest of you who are new, you are following this thin line. All I did was thicken the line, right? That's it. No, but all jokes aside, we've seen this happen before. Monthly tendency defended right towards the end of the month. Bi-weekly, it was sitting right underneath it. So a 17% bounce leading into that monthly candle. Right over here, we need a 7% bounce for the tendency to get supported. Does it happen for sure? I can't say, right? But I think the probability leans towards it. You do not play for... if you try to play this market to be right every single trade, you're going to go insane, guys. You're going to go insane. Just give in to being wrong. Okay, just give in to being wrong on every single trade, and then suddenly you realize that, whoa, when the wind does come, in crypto especially, it comes in a massive, massive way. But because you're always wondering about being wrong, your sizing, your position, your risk, right, is always intact. Which is why following all of these other guys on YouTube and Twitter who are constantly focused on their own egos about being right gets you guys into trouble, because their confidence is so mind-blowingly dangerous, right? I used to collaborate with this one YouTuber that got some Mongolians into some seriously bad positioning that I don't think you guys can guess who, because it wasn't anytime recent, so don't try to guess. It wasn't Jason Casper. Jason Casper was a great guy. Okay, so I know you guys will probably think Casper because I collaborated with him recently, but no, it's just Jason Casper is not that kind of. Jason Casper trades both sides. He does not and doesn't get too bull-hearted or bear-hearted on either side, man. He's just objective, right? From what I remember, at least I've not seen his content recently, but I trust that guy to stay consistent. My point is, the guys who aren't trading and are actually trying to be right, they get so convicted on one side or the other, they get people into trouble. You can never ever be that confident. It gets you the views and the likes, but it also gets your community into trouble. All right, where was I? Yeah, I have some cool shit though to show you guys. Smash the like. I have some cool shit to show you guys. Do you guys want to see? Oh, by the way, before I show you some cool shit, this is cool shit too. But based on this green 55, green 50. This is the 50, right? 50 weekly MA. This thingy. I think a lot of people are also looking at the death cross, right? Which seems to be a death cross for the bears more than the death cross for the bulls. This is a chart by Julian over here. I'm not going to go ahead and pretend that I've been looking at this, so I'm just going to go show you guys his chart, and all credit goes to him. He's marked out every single death cross this cycle, and it seems like every death cross has been death to the bears, which is what we love over here at Mango, until we turn bearish as well, right? So yeah, death cross, rally, death cross, rally, death cross, rally. Do we see it again? Who knows? But the bears are sweating, in my opinion. Going short altcoins at the moment, in my opinion, is a death sentence. We can go ahead and look at Bitcoin dominance right over here. There's apparently famous YouTuber, maybe the same YouTuber, calling for Bitcoin dominance, rallying to the moon, because that's what it did in the past. Again, that's the TA does not support that at all. It did not support that at all ever since we got these candles these last 2 weeks. You had to switch your bias after that. Firstly, this kind of move over here, when you're seeing an uptrend and then a downtrend into retest of the uptrend, yes, by all means, we can come and fill that up on a really strong coin asset that wants to reject the break of the trend. But we are seeing the classic examples of a retest of the trend and continuation to the downside. We're not going to know that for sure until we take out this low over here at around 57, or again, this is what a trader does, and not a fucking forecaster who's trying to be right all the time, right? I can give you something actionable over here, which you guys can use to protect yourselves. I'm saying, hey, I will not know for sure whether this is a downtrend until we take out 57, or we put in a low here, put in a higher, a low high low here, a low high over here, and then take out the new low that we put in, right? So at the moment, this is your low. So that's your bench, that's your anchor. But we could do something like this, put in a high, take out that low, and then we get confirmation of this altcoin season. We'll talk about that. We'll make a lot of money. Hey, to the downside or the upside, there's money to be made on these kind of moves, right? So this is the actionable. This flat out saying, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go to 72%, and then come back like a fucking week or so later to I told you guys. I'm so right. Or it goes down. I told you guys. No, man. Like, how was it actionable? Like, how did you help anyone make money? I mean, you're just helping your ego. You guys don't know who I'm talking about. Don't try to guess. I'm talking about the entire market together. Anyways, I'm talking about the entire space. Okay, I'm shitting on the entire space. I'm not picking out anyone. Let's read the comments here. The 4-year cycle does not seem to be the case. We are not even following the 4-year cycle. Again, not actionable. We've been following a 6-month cycle, and according to the 6-month cycle, we will talk. I don't want to deviate. Let's stick to what I was talking about here. Bitcoin dominance over here is suggesting to me, along with what I talked about in the beginning of the stream, we have the Mango dashboard showing us that when you switch to your so by the way, Mango dashboard, app.mango's research echo, filter out your Bitcoin pairings. You're going to see far more longs than reds, right? Which is really, really interesting behavior, change of behavior, considering Bitcoin has been dumping. There are implications to this, okay? Implications for us actually flipping our bias on Bitcoin very, very soon. Yeah, you heard me right. Even though we're sitting on support, etc., I'm thinking about things in a different way. I can target that this stream, or we can go and talk about that in the next stream. I think I'll do that next stream. This stream, I actually want to talk about altcoins, because there's so much to talk about, man. There's so much to talk about. One stream a week isn't enough. Okay. Going back to Bitcoin dominance, I think there is a reasonable probability that we could be playing for some nice, strong, big bounces or potential even trend trades showing up between now to around late Jan to early Feb. Okay, be brilliant. It'd be brilliant. Altcoins can do a lot of damage to the upside in like 60 days. Most of the altcoin money, guys, is done in really short durations, and people get really high of those moves, and they remember just those moves for the rest of their lives, thinking altcoin season is all the time. But altcoin seasons are these pockets of big euphoric moves that change people's lives, right? And then everyone's trying to catch those pockets, and they end up. It's like freaking cocaine, man. I mean, I've never done cocaine, but people say it's really, really. Is it cocaine or heroin? One of those two is is apparently like you do it and you want to do it forever, right? So I think altcoin season is like that, right? To people, where you get a taste of it and you just want it forever. But the issue is you can't go to your neighborhood drug dealer and buy altcoin season. we try to by imposing a will on the market, but it doesn't work that way. The guy's not standing around the corner, man. He just shows up whenever he shows up. He's like the ice cream truck guy when we were kids. He fucking rings the bell and you're like, oh, he's finally here, right? Yeah, that's altcoin season. And I think I hear bells. I'm hearing bells. But again, remember, altcoin season at Mango is not what most people call, not how most people look at it. We are very, very selective on the coins we pick. We're looking at strong coins only. We're always filtering, dumping out the weaks and filtering the strong, because you can't go wrong that way, right? Especially when the market is so selective about what it wants to pump. And XRP has been showing me a lot of strength. I've been building a big position on this coin named ASTER. You guys might be familiar with it. I have no idea what it does. I just know that it's an exchange or something. So this is another one that has shown so much strength, right? Look at this, guys. This is a daily. This is a 12-hour. Let's switch to daily. Look at this past 3 days. 1, 2, 3. Bitcoin has been dumping for the past effing 3 days. Okay, Bitcoin has been fucking dumping, and what is this shit doing? Right? It's just going up, right? So again, an example of strength. I see this going up. I'm taking out of the rest of my altcoins that have been showing weakness and adding to this. Now, I do want to caution you guys from buying this breakout over here, because breakouts have just not worked all cycle. I've been saying it over and over again. You're much better off waiting for the break back into the range than buying a breakout, right? It has been a winning strategy. Now, every now and then a breakout will work, but I'm again talking about probabilities. This might blow to the upside, but it's already broken back into the range. If you think about broke back into the range. So you had Bean followed me on this trade. I think he got in over here. I was buying, but so it's funny, right? Most of my winning trades have come from you guys. I remember Chainlink I found because of you. Band I found because of you. There's another coin called SXP I found because of you guys. I was doing my last live stream last week. Bean and Avi were talking in the live chat, and they were like, "Hey, have you seen? Are you looking at what ASTER is doing? Had a huge pump, and Bitcoin was showing a lot of weakness, right?" And then that pump got sold into. I was buying this entire zone, guys. I was buying here. I don't know what this coin is about. I was accumulating this area here too. Like, this was just all good for me. This entire zone is one big accumulation zone for me. You can take profits over here at around 1.5, 1.6-ish, and then gun for all-time highs at around 2.24. If things do get crazy, we could see $4 on this one. I'm always dreaming big for the big win, right? Let's hope it plays out. So this is one of the things I'm playing. BNB has shown surprising strength as well too, even though we were taking profits, exiting more over here and over here too. I think I may need to start revisiting BNB again. Sui's has been very disappointing, very, very disappointing, but it's hard to fade this in this zone over here. I remember taking this straight to the upside over here, right? 1.6, this was a key inflection point. Do you guys remember this? When we were long Sui from 0.77 or 0.85-ish, right? This was a key inflection point where we added. So that's an opportunity for you guys, following channel onto that. So keep an eye on all these altcoins. I think people are going to hate me for saying this right now, but you guys know I've been against altcoins almost all cycle, but we are seeing something different at the moment. And there is enough reason to see the market reverse over here. And we're going to talk about USDT dominance. Any questions before I go on any further? It's CZ's pet project. Nice. CZ, like his pet project? What do you mean exactly? Is he investing in it? Because I know or is he actually involved? Nick, of course, man. During the bear phases, I'm always here. I'm always here when markets are dumping for you guys. It's during the bull markets that I disappear. You got to go to the all season feast. Okay, guys. We are about to show you the coolest thing I found. Okay, now I addressed this like a few months ago with you guys. I went through how every one of these high lows over here, right, has lined up with cyclical tops. Okay, wait, before I go on any further, do you guys want to spam yes or no in the chat right now? Are you guys interested in me showing you guys how we can potentially time the next top on Bitcoin, or even why this is a really good bounce area? Or do you guys want me to go back to talking about altcoins? Just spam the chat. Altcoins or Bitcoin? I'm not seeing enough replies, man. I'll just wait here. There we go. Okay, now I see it. Oh, Tyree says altcoins. Core says Bitcoin. Okay. So we have a few altcoins. I see. Okay, how about this? I will do you guys one better and show you guys how you can use what I'm about to show you to potentially put on some really good trades on both. You guys can use this to put on great trades on Bitcoin as well as altcoins, including XRP. Okay. Now, what we are looking at over here is USDT dominance. Okay, basically how much money is flowing in and out of stablecoins. Now, we identified, like we went over this a few months ago, where we said every one of these high lows seems to line up with Bitcoin cycle tops. Okay. Now, this break of this channel, right, this rising channel, it never sat entirely well with me, because think about it. Even though we've been going into a rising channel of dollar dominance, USDT dominance, the bull market has been running, right? The macro bull market, Bitcoin on the 3-month chart, the yearly chart, has been running for years now. So this lines up with money coming into the market. Now, if this is going sideways and not going down, what does that really tell us? It tells us that money is not exiting and leaving the market anymore. Money is rotating within the market. I can get into the nitty-gritties of that some other time, but that lined up, by the way, guys, with why we needed to focus our efforts on just a few assets at a time and not go for the big altcoin season where everything's going to pump, right? That did not make sense. What made sense was, hey, find the coins that are doing really well and focus all your efforts on those coins. And don't try to be smart, just play the trend on those coins, because money is rotating from a set of few coins, then to a set of few coins, and then to a set of few coins. We identified Bitcoin as a major, Sol in the beginning cycle. Okay, we took on the Sui trade and then switched on to Ethereum. And then we've been trying for other trades as well. You don't need to get them all right. You need to get you don't even need most of them right with the kind of wins you get. We have been getting. But the funny thing is that crypto makes it very easy as long as you're willing to be humble and say, I'm only going to buy strength. This is not performing well. Put into strength. And that strength keeps growing. This, however, got really interesting because that high low theory, right, even though we were going sideways, it played out again. March 2024, guys, this high low here ended up being the high on Bitcoin. Local high, yes, but a significant local high. I marked it out for you guys over here, March 2024, right? Then again, December 2025, the second part of the W, or head and shoulders, call it what you want, right? It ended up being a high on Bitcoin, a local high in December 2024. Now again in August 2025, this time we were prepared for this, right? And it lined up with our cycle thesis too. At Mango, we're playing 6-month cycles. Don't care about the 4-year cycle. We don't care about the extended cycle bullshit. We don't care about any of that. We play things actionably, right? Because you can actually put on positions and just wait to see. Anyways, all of that pisses me off. Again, over here, August 2024, we ended up putting a local high. Interesting. Okay. Now, something I've marked out way before even identifying that this thing is still intact was this red zone here, which was essentially the inflection point of the breakdown. Each time we have expected Bitcoin to come in and put in, US dominance to reject off the zone. Okay, and what I was looking for was a huge Bitcoin move where we reject and then go down like this, right? That's kind of why I was looking at it, but it didn't play out that way. This kept going sideways, or Bitcoin kept going up, right? Essentially showing us that, hey, money's not really entering the market, and Bitcoin is still showing strength while we're seeing sideways movement. Now, again, interestingly, each one of these peaks into this resistance level has lined up with Bitcoin lows, right? You can go over here, see again, this was around August 2024-ish, September 2024-ish. Go on over to the charts. We're going to go to March 2024, and we're going to mark out August to September, which would be somewhere around here, right? So this zone ended up being the low because what happened right after, again, it was pretty perfect. Damn, it was pretty perfect. We went on to put on the next high, right? Now we go back over here, and that was August 2024. We'll go on to this one. This was around March 31st to April, right? So 2025. So we're going to go on with the Bitcoin chart, mark out the same thing, move this box, take it out, and it was right over here, March to April. And again, we had a nice rally. Now, coincidentally, we are sitting right up against the red box again. Now, we could come back to the top of the red box, by the way, right? Likely will, because we did it last time too. However, one could say that, hey, you could mark out a trend line like this. That's good enough. We don't need to get it perfect over there. We're sitting on bi-weekly dynamic as well, monthly support. And do we see Bitcoin bounce here and do another run leading into I don't know whether we go all the way to March. Why is that not? Okay, there you go. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like Feb and then dump into March, because Krisha's birthday is usually you want to be out of the markets before Krisha's birthday. So yeah, that how about them apples, huh, guys? How about them apples? Okay. Now, how do you use this for altcoins? Well. Wait a minute. We weren't looking at Bitcoin in specific, right? We're looking at Bitcoin correlated to USDT dominance. But this entire cycle, this entire time that we've been looking at this, Bitcoin dominance was in an uptrend. But now we have Bitcoin dominance in a downtrend, which means that this USDT dominance is likely, probably, not for sure, of course, nothing's for certain, is likely going to go into altcoins instead this time, right? Again, the strong altcoins, okay, the strong altcoins. So my thinking is that we will see a bounce on Bitcoin, yes, but it won't be as big as people think. We are not going to see Bitcoin go up to like $200,000, $300,000, not between now and March at the very least. I don't care what happens after the 6 months. We'll reassess things after the next 6 months, okay? For the next 6 months, though, what I care about is how I'm going to play and how am I going to allocate my aggression. And I think this US dominance might be getting allocated towards altcoins instead, because we are looking at Bitcoin dominance. Where's my Bitcoin dominance chart? Oh, shit. I lost it. Okay, let's go. We don't need SUI. Who the hell cares about SUI? Piece of shit coin. No, it's on support, guys. It's on support. Don't listen to me. Bitcoin dominance is looking weak, right? So we have USDT sitting at resistance, right, which we've proven has been working now as a trend. We have this looking to come down, maybe come down all the way like this, or maybe does this, right, shakes people out back into Bitcoin temporarily. I think this comes down, guys. You've not heard me say this all cycle. I think this comes down. I really think, based on what I've been seeing, and I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. I don't care. I'm okay being wrong. But I hear the bells. I hear the bells. The ice cream man is coming. I heard the ice cream man, and yeah, that's just me, man. It's the last hurrah, and it will line up with. Oh, see, guys, this is a way to think about it. Okay, if we have identified over here that there's this money rotating between coins within the market, you need to think about things as a bucket of liquidity within the space. Okay. And Bitcoin dominance going into an uptrend. Let's draw a nice big bucket for Bitcoin. This one bucket here. This is all coins here. Okay. Bitcoin dominance going into an uptrend means that this bucket filled up with liquidity. Okay. There's a lot of money now over here. A lot of money. Okay. So all of this money can either go into a third bucket called stable coins. So we'll label this here. USDT. This is USDT. These guys are strong alts. Not all alts. Okay. I use altcoin season because that's what you guys are familiar with, but I don't think every single thing's going to pump. You got to be in like native coins, and there's going to be a BTC, right? So when you have this kind of setup, okay, there we go. Freaking trading view. What does this mean? This liquidity that people don't want to be in anymore can either go here or can go here, right? There's so much liquidity within the space. We're not seeing money come from outside anymore. Okay, and by the way, I was right on that entire ETF shit. Remember those guys who were saying, oh, and I said it at around $95,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin, right? Even though I was bullish Bitcoin, I said just because money is flowing into ETFs, you don't know the other side of the market. You have no idea what the other side of the market is. You have no idea that other people selling. Okay, just because you're looking at ETFs. One side of the buyers coming in, it means nothing, because those guys, the same guys who are now looking at this goddamn green line over here, the same guys were saying the market is going to go up forever. It's going to go up forever, man. Infinite money, blah, 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 all that crap. That's not how it works. Not how it works. Now the other side of the narrative has come up. Apparently, we have your whales selling, right? ETFs don't matter. It is the old school whales selling. That's another big rant that I have for you guys over there. We'll do that. We'll do that next time. But at the end of the day, it's just price action tells you whether there's an imbalance between buyers and sellers. You don't need to look at the ETFs. You don't need to look at the whales. The whales might be the on-chain whales, the old school guys, whatever it's called, aged coins. They might be selling. But what if they're being overpowered by buyers? Or the ETFs might be coming in, but what if they're being overpowered by sellers? You'll never know by looking at just that. You know how you find out? By looking at fucking price, right? Just look at the chart, look at the candle, look at, is it red? Is it green? Are we doing an uptrend? Are we doing a downtrend? That's all that matters. That's what tells you whether the imbalance is to the upside or towards the downside. Don't look at all that other shit. Do it for your own interest. Do it for your own knowledge, but do not make investing and trading decisions out of it. Going back to what I was saying, let's go back to our buckets. Where's my bucket? Wait, where the hell? Oh, there. Okay. So we have all this liquidity that's filled up into Bitcoin. Can go into USDT or can go into altcoins. But I'm not seeing XRP dump while Bitcoin's dumping. So it's not going into USDT, clearly. XRP doesn't want to go to USDT, right? At the very least for now. If it loses this level, I'll be like, okay, I was wrong. Maybe it wants to go into USDT. ASTER does not want to go into USDT, right? Zcash for sure does not want to go to USDT. Like, what the hell is this shit, right? And Bitcoin dominance, it's definitely not going to Bitcoin. It's not staying in Bitcoin either. because I'm seeing a red Bitcoin week on the bi-weekly, which means the past 2 weeks have been red. We've given up a lot of Bitcoin gains against altcoins, right? So that's just me, guys. What do I know anyways about the markets? Right? Don't listen to me. Right? Listen to those guys, the rest of them who've just been leading you astray. Oops. Bitcoin without retracement to 0.6 116K during the range. Yeah. See, that's a little bit more actionable too, right? Like, I like that. Yeah. Even by the way, even if you're bearish, it wouldn't have mattered. Like, as long as it's something actionable. I love how Sean has brought back all the excitement in the span of 15 minutes. Loving this buckets. Hey Sean, greetings from Cambodia. Hey man, how's it going, buddy? There's a hole in my pocket. Oh man. If you guys don't get that reference, you're too young. You're too young, or I'm too old for my age. Okay, let's go to the comments, and we can wrap up here. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. In the meantime, that would be some sour effing apples, but I'll forgive that if we get a nice all season. Yeah, I mean, we're not always we're not always going to get what we plan for, man. Most of the time, it's not going to go according to plan, but it's been a good cycle, man. We've made good money, right? So if we can like, we can't get gung ho on higher Bitcoin targets if the market is giving us signs now on what it wants to do. And honestly, we'll talk about the Bitcoin signs later. I think at the moment we cannot ignore this. If this could change, okay, this could change, but the Bitcoin pairings are looking good, man. The near BTC, like, I don't think this thing has been green against Bitcoin for like years. ICP is red, eh? I thought this one was doing well for a while. Yeah, it's long on the weekly. Yeah, there you go. It's long on the weekly, so just having a pullback. So again, guys, I think remember what I said in the beginning of the stream. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about putting on actionable trades over a series of multiple trades when the probability is in your favor and all the signs are pointing towards something, and you react to the signs with the full knowledge that you could be wrong, and you're getting ready for the next trade after you're wrong, right? I like what I'm saying. It's not the ideal situation, of course. The ideal situation is we get to sit back, Bitcoin keeps pumping, all coins keep getting crushed, and we don't have to act at all because we get all coins even cheaper with our Bitcoin. But maybe it's time to act. Nick says it's that experience that's so valuable. You've taught us a lot, but we get a lot from your experience. Yeah, I think Nick, you've been in the markets long enough too, man. Now your experience is just as valuable as mine, so don't hesitate to share your ideas with us. Monte Carlo says, I told you guys, and we nailed it. Are common scammer phrases of those YouTube. Oh, yeah. I told you guys. Yeah, I told you guys. I mean, I don't get me wrong. We all do it. Like it'd be what's what I'm looking for? Hypocritical or wrong of us to say that none of us ever make the mistake of saying I told you so. Like it does help for the ego, right? That's what comes out. But to make it a habit of doing it every single time, making your entire brand about I told you so, that is not right. It's dangerous. Late to the stream, so listening to Sean at 1.5x to catch up. Hey, I think you caught up. Quite a different experience. Listening to me 1.5x, man, I had to tone it down. I used to be so fast with the way I used to speak back in when I started Mango. People had to be like, Sean, you gotta calm down, man. You're the only channel I can't watch on 2x speed. Okay, scrolling back down. Bitcoin Monero. Yeah, sure. You mean Monero BTC, right? XMR against Bitcoin. Why is it not showing you? Did they remove freaking Monero as a ticker against Bitcoin? Why wasn't showing? Did I type XRM by mistake? Oh, it's looking good. I mean, most like there's so many altcoins that are looking great, and Monero has that Zcash narrative going in its favor too, right? This is like I wouldn't say most altcoins are looking good against Bitcoin, but far more than usual, right? Monero has been removed from so many exchanges. Too good for privacy coin, right? Bullish. That's bullish in the weirdest way. Sean, I love your content. This is the first time I've seen you be bullish on alts. Yeah, that should mean something, right? Now again, that doesn't mean that Sean has flipped bullish on alts. Finally, means it should bounce. No, I think the probability is just there for altcoins at the moment. It is the privacy coin. So the way the Monero narrative is being spun against Zcash and vice versa is that Zcash is focuses on encryption while Monero focuses on mixing. Now, I'm not an expert on either, but people are like Zcash fits more into the Bitcoin ethos, right? And you guys know my views since like June, April, I've been public about this. Personally, I've been looking at the situation a little bit longer, like the whole Bitcoin thing against the quantum computing. I think as the rest of the altcoins too, but considering like my personal exposure to Bitcoin, I care more about how the Bitcoin community manages this, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. So there's that too. For why I think the Zcash, I talked about this in the C Clubhouse sessions. By the way, if you guys are interested in learning how to trade properly for the long term, along with investments and how to position your long-term investments, consider the Mango C program. It is a skill that you can use for the rest of your life in every single thing, because we talk about every single thing in there. You can find us at themangoway.com/seed. That being said, in the Seed Clubhouse session, I talked about how one of the narratives that is going unsaid on Zcash could be the fact that it might have better deterrence against the attack vector that quantum computing currently has to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's vulnerability is specific to the public keys that are being revealed upon transaction, right? So Satoshi's keys are not hashed, right? And unless you use the right Bitcoin address to transact, your public keys could be revealed as well. And that public key, because we use ECDSA, elliptical curve digital signature algorithm, that is specifically vulnerable to quantum computing at a specific qubit, logical qubit number, of course, to being reversed into figuring out the private keys, which is not the case for SHA-256, right? Which is more vulnerable to Grover's algorithm, but not completely vulnerable. It's Shaw's algorithm that is the problem for Bitcoin, because again, ECDSA, and we need to come to a solution on how we're going to deal with that very, very soon, in my opinion, faster. Now, Zcash does not reveal the whole point about Zcash is that it does not reveal its public keys, right? It's private, which is why Zcash might be picking up a bid from Bitcoiners as well who understand the problem. Why am I looking at the ETH BTC chart over here? Yeah, ETH BTC, by the way, guys, this is trade here, right? If we can actually break this downtrend against the Mango dynamic on the daily here, this has been respecting the daily, right? I think what you're going to see is a break, a reclaim, and the second reclaim is usually the trade, right? Because it's a fake break, then back into the range, and then that's how it plays out usually. But ETH tends to be wild, and you could see a huge candle. So you probably know more about this with me, though. Zcash analysis. Yeah, I should do that. Zcash, I'll tell you guys that it's looking fantastic, really, really strong. But you have to be a tad bit careful, because even though it looks like it's in a breakout, it's not really, because you guys got to go all the way back to the Poloniex chart. You can find it. Is there a way to filter out just Polo? Does this work? Crypto? Oh, it does. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so it's at resistance. It's not at a breakout. I remember this because I was trading back then, right? I was like, I remember Zcash being a higher price. So yeah, there you go. So be careful. It's at resistance. If it breaks past here, it's like you know, go to the moon. All right, guys. I'm tired. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. My name is Sean Dexter. I'll see you guys next week. Unless you guys want like two a week. Maybe do Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays and Mondays. I don't know. I like this though. Keep it mango. Keep it easy. Keep it stress free. Now remember. Just a quick rundown. Bitcoin has not been invalidated yet. Watch the beginning of the stream. I go over this very in good detail. 10 SMA has 13 days to defend itself. Crypto fear and greed, suggesting that we could see a bounce at the very least. And finally, we have, let me clear this out. Switch to bi-weekly, switch to Mango Dynamic. We have the Mango Dynamic supporting us underneath as well. So if we're seeing a bounce of crypto fear and greed probability play out, because it's red, not been read often, along with Mango Dynamic support, it's reasonable to say that we could potentially get a 7% bounce leading towards the end of the month, which would defend our monthly 10 SMA, which is only around a 7 to 8% bounce, 8% bounce, which would be around like 0.5 to 0.6% per day on average required. I think Bitcoin can do it, defend the 10 SMA. Keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress free. Ciao, I love